Little London School in inner city Leeds. Last year, the head, governors and parents decided to withdraw the whole of Year 6 from SATs after more than half their 11-year-olds failed to make the grade the previous year. Just as many pupils here qualify for Pupil Premium. They speak 82 languages between them. The school studied the guidelines carefully and made its decision before the start of the academic year. Now, for the first time, the key players tell their story in their own words.
It is absolutely at the discretion of the head teacher whether or not children are entered for SATs. And certainly last year, I felt, and as a school we felt, that there was a detrimental effect for those SATs on our Year 6 children. So that was why we disapplied them all, if you like, from taking part. And we just felt, well, enough now. This doesn't suit the needs of our children. As a profession, we are driven very much by the needs of our children. And I think too many times now in education we're compromising our own integrity and our own moral integrity to take on board additional things that we're expected to teach at a primary level.
Knowing the children well as we do, being governors and some of us parents as well, we just didn't feel it was in the best interest of the children because of the levels of stress.
It is wrong for us to put 11-year-olds in the failure bracket. That these children have so much to offer society, and we as governors and our school, our teachers, in fact society, has to say, yes, let's bring it out of these children. Let's see what these children have got to offer. Let's not downtrodden.
This is what we did as a whole governing body, as a community, as a school. Yeah. We put the children first.
So will you read the rest of the sentence?
From September, the school put in place a comprehensive system of alternative assessment and informed the authorities it would not be taking part in SATs.
I went to a meeting with the local authority and part of, with other head teachers, and part of that meeting was to discuss our predictions for the 2017 SATs. So I was very upfront, very transparent, and said, well, actually, I haven't brought any predictions because we're not going to do them. So that was met, I think, at first with a little bit of ha ha ha, as you might do. But then there was a realisation that we hadn't set predictions because we didn't intend to do the SATs, and we wanted our children to have the broad and balanced curriculum that is spoken about in the national curriculum. We had one online assessment tool for assessing reading and for assessing maths. We also had another electronic version of assessment that teachers fed into, so that was very much teacher assessment. And then we had the ongoing assessment for learning on a daily basis with children. And then following that, we moderated within our trust of schools, we moderated across the city, and then at the end of Year 6, I invited schools to come in, some who were judges as outstanding by Ofsted, to come and oversee my Year 6 teachers' judgments to make sure that, in fact, we had met the required standard.
Victor's progress in Year 6 was phenomenal, and I think it's due to the fact that that the teaching and the approach remained very broad, open-minded, and more about being about the incremental progress, so that they wouldn't try, fail, and that's it, which is what the SATs would have done. And because my son's, he's generally quite shy and more introverted, and that would have really affected his confidence in high school. He was put up in the highest learning set, and he was very, very proud of it. And every term so far, his report continues to improve, and I think that's very much a reflection on the learning skills and the self-discipline that the school here has instilled in them, rather than saying, we'll just prepare you, stress you out to the maximum for this one paper, which means nothing in the end of the day.
It was very good how they did it. The children wasn't stressed out. There was no anxiety levels. They wasn't coming home upset, panicking about, am I going to pass? Am I going to do? Because they actually just made progress every day as they came into class as a normal day. They did assessment. And they just worked on that progress. It was amazing.
So I want you guys to keep going with those stories.
It meant that we could really incorporate creativity as part of our curriculum. Our sports expanded, our sport, we had our forest schools have started, you know, and our children have been able to use the outdoors as a tool for their learning as well.
I think it's a great school and we get great lunches. So I'd recommend this the best school in England.
I think it's the best school ever because it's not usually like the other school that we have fun and our teacher, when we ask too many questions, she doesn't mind. She just answers them all. We all like this school because it's fun.
Our teachers are challenging us in maths and English, and I think this is the best school in the whole world or universe.
In May, during SATS week, the local authority turned up, but Mrs Wood had taken Year 6 for an educational trip to the seaside. It turned out no other school in England had said no to SATS.
The local authority then said they weren't going to take any action against myself and the school, they were passing it to the governors. So the governors were asked to investigate the situation. I think the accusation was one of maladministration. And the governors said, well, actually, we've looked into this, everything's happened, we were aware of everything, we don't feel that maladministration has happened, and there isn't a case to answer.
Little London is keeping its curriculum as broad and creative as possible, but the SATs are looming once more. So what now?
I'm confident that there'll be hundreds of other schools that will be thinking the same way as we thought last year, and I think it'll be an interesting time. What I would say to head teachers is, it's about losing the fear. Because if we lose the fear, and we've spoken to our governing body, and we've started those conversations, then you're actually acting in the interests of your children.
Under the brambles, under the sea, boom, boom, boom.
You know, we used to push little children up chimneys in the past because we thought that was an acceptable way of cleaning a chimney. We don't do that now. You know, we don't let people smoke in cars where children are breathing in passive smoking. We don't do that now. And I think, you know, I'm not against assessment. Our school is not against assessment at all. But what we are saying is, in this 21st century, there's got to be a better way of doing it.